This film documents 8 months of observed outcomes from the closure of the Surfers Paradise Esplanade. It is not a projection. It is not a proposal. It is a record. Across the 8 months of daily footage, one finding is consistent. The conditions do not improve. The Esplanade, a primary piece of public infrastructure in Surfers Paradise, is persistently underutilised and the local economy is suffering. What was intended as revitalisation has not produced measurable uplift. This report asks a simple question. After 8 months of evidence, is this intervention improving the system or degrading it? I'm Rob Luxford, founder of Surfers Paradise. In the 4-month report, we looked at the areas of major concern within the trial and examined claims and public messaging. This report documents outcomes. This is a continuous visual diary from August 2025 to April 2026. Viewers are encouraged to move freely through the timeline. The result is consistent. Low pedestrian activation relative to expectations. Limited commercial spillover or measurable economic uplift. A subdued foreshore environment, lacking the energy typical of Surfers Paradise. And reduced economic activity across the commercial centre. This is not a snapshot. It is a sustained condition. 1. Absence of measurable objectives. The revitalisation program does not define success in measurable terms. There's no economic modelling, no agreed baseline, no targets for trade, visitation or activation. Without these, performance cannot be objectively assessed. This is a strategic gap, not a reporting gap. 2. Underutilisation of a primary urban asset. The Esplanade is not a secondary streetscape. It is the structural spine of the eastern precinct. It connects the highest density residential towers, major hotels, the beachfront, the commercial centre, and Main Beach, Surfers Paradise and Broadbeach. Previously, it supported a layered experience economy. Movement, browsing, dining and passive visitation operating simultaneously. The footage shows that removing vehicle access has not intensified activity. It has simplified and reduced it. 3. Network impact and economic flow. Surfers Paradise operates within tight spatial constraints, with only a small number of north-south corridors. Removing the Esplanade as a functional artery concentrates traffic into fewer routes, introduces network fragility, and increases travel time and unpredictability. This directly affects accessibility for residents and visitors, servicing and logistics for businesses, emergency response reliability, and economic throughput across the precinct. This is not a local change. It is a system-level intervention. During the trial period, a tram derailment and a single truck rollover resulted in suburb-wide half-day disruptions. Footage shows travel time of approximately 50 minutes to move 3 blocks, widespread gridlock across the precinct, extended delays affecting residents, visitors, and services. This was not a peak period surge. This was a single point incident. In a network with limited redundancy, removing a primary corridor creates conditions where major disruptions produce major system failure with associated business losses and critical incident risks. 4. Revitalisation versus redistribution. The evidence does not show meaningful uplift. Instead, it indicates redistribution of activity, reduction in overall vibrancy, and displacement of visitors and spending. Diverting traffic to Fernie Avenue means the commercial heart of Surfers Paradise is now bypassed. Business sentiment snapshot. A sample survey of 38 businesses during the trial period indicates 65% report decreased customer numbers, 71 report decreased revenue. While this is a small sample, the consistency of the result is notable. Accompanying qualitative responses describe reduced foot traffic, lower conversion rates, increased cancellations and no-shows, increasing difficulty sustaining operations. These responses are being compiled into a formal submission. These are not projections. They are operating conditions reported in real time. The council's own figures showed that 9,000 cars a day used the road and were going to have to divert. Those cars contained locals and visitors who previously engaged with the precinct as part of a moving, browsing economy. Those people have been forced to find other paths. Local amenity gains do not offset system-wide economic contraction. Taken together, these observations point to the same underlying condition: reduced resilience in both the transport network and the local economy. Misapplication of pedestrianisation. Pedestrianisation is effective when applied to commercial cores, where activity is already concentrated, such as Cavill Mall. The Esplanade is not a commercial core. It is a primary circulation route, abutting a recreational destination, feeding the commercial core. Applying pedestrianisation here removes movement rather than enhancing it, disrupts the system that supports surrounding activity, and reduces exposure, access, and incidental visitation. This is a structural planning error, not a refinement. 6. Design without a defined vision. The current concept outlines strategies, but not a clear objective grounded in the identity of Surfers Paradise. There is no articulated answer to what success looks like, what the precinct is trying to become, or how the design supports its economic and cultural function. Without a defined why, design defaults to aesthetic preference over performance, generic solutions over place-specific outcomes. 7. Cultural misalignment. Surfers Paradise is not a passive beachfront. It is an experience economy built on energy, movement, visibility, and accessibility. The closure introduces a competing condition: quiet, low activity, low throughput space. That condition is readily available elsewhere along the coastline, and not the basis of Surfers Paradise's success. This is not an enhancement. This is dilution of identity. 8. Interpreting community feedback beyond the raw numbers. Survey results may show support both for and against the closure. However, planning decisions require impact weighting, not just simple counts. So frequency, the daily compounding impacts on access and trade outweigh occasional amenity preferences. Severity, impacts affecting livelihoods, safety, and network function carry greater weight than preferences such as reduced noise. Substitutability. Low traffic beachfront environments are abundant. A primary circulation artery is not. Distribution. Costs are system-wide, but benefits are localised. Permanence. Economic and behavioural shifts persist, but amenity can be delivered through alternative design. High frequency, high severity, non-substitutable impacts must carry decisive weight. 9. Project integrity and public trust. The association with the Trump Tower Surfers Paradise proposal has materially shifted public perception. It raises a fundamental question. Is this project driven by public benefit or influenced by adjacent development interests. Regardless of intent, the outcome is clear. Public trust has been eroded, the project's purpose is questioned, and reputational risk now extends to the broader program. For infrastructure of this scale, clarity of purpose is essential. This is not a question of whether the Esplanade can be improved. It is a question of whether removing a primary circulation artery is compatible with how Surfers Paradise functions. The visual record indicates it is not. Based on 8 months of observed outcomes: 1. End the Esplanade closure trial by committee vote. 2. Rewrite the design brief to include clear measurable objectives, economic and operational performance criteria, a defined vision grounded in the function and culture of Surfers Paradise. 3. Revisit the concept design. Retain north-south traffic on the Esplanade and improve safety and amenity through design, not removal. This is not a question of preference. It is a question of system performance. After 8 months of observation, activity has not increased, economic signals have weakened, network pressure has intensified. The benefits are localised and intermittent. The impacts are continuous and system-wide. The Surfers Paradise Esplanade is not surplus space. It is critical infrastructure. And the evidence shows that removing it from the network is not neutral. It is harmful. The decision now is not whether to continue the trial. It is whether to accept ongoing structural decline or restore the conditions that allow Surfers Paradise to function.